What if I told you that one of the most fundamental wireless technologies we rely on every single day is about to be completely revolutionized? Bluetooth. That little symbol you tap countless times daily to connect your phone to headphones, speakers, smartwatches, and cars. But what if I told you that this 25-year-old technology that connects over 5 billion devices worldwide is facing its biggest threat yet? In a shocking development that's been flying under the radar, a tech giant you might not expect is about to pull the plug on Bluetooth as we know it. And the replacement technology they're pushing could fundamentally change how every single smart device in your home, office, and pocket communicates with each other. But here's the twist. This isn't just about better connectivity. This is about control. This is about who owns the future of wireless communication, and the implications could be massive for everything from your daily convenience to global tech dominance. Stay with me, because what you're about to discover has been hidden in plain sight, and it's going to change how you think about the invisible connections that power your digital life. If you're intrigued by the future of wireless technology and want to stay ahead of the curve, hit that like button, subscribe to Revo now, and ring the notification bell. This is the kind of story that could impact every single smart device you own. Let's start with what we know. Bluetooth has been the backbone of short-range wireless communication since 1998. Developed by Ericsson and later managed by the Bluetooth Special Interest Group, this technology has evolved from connecting headsets to enabling the entire Internet of Things ecosystem we live in today. But here's where it gets interesting. In recent months, we've been seeing unusual patterns in the tech world. Major manufacturers are suddenly pivoting away from traditional Bluetooth implementations. New devices are being released with mysterious wireless protocols that aren't quite Bluetooth, but they're not Wi-Fi either. What's driving this shift? Is it about speed, battery life, security, or is there something much bigger at play? Let me show you something that's been happening quietly in the background. If you've purchased any new Xiaomi devices in the past year, and I mean anything from their smartphones to smart home products, you might have noticed something different about how they connect to each other. Users have been reporting faster pairing times, more stable connections, and battery life that seems almost too good to be true. But when tech analysts dug deeper, they discovered these devices weren't using standard Bluetooth protocols at all. This is where our story takes a dramatic turn. Because this isn't just Xiaomi experimenting with better wireless technology. This is the beginning of what could be the end of an era. Now, I need you to understand something crucial about the wireless ecosystem. Bluetooth isn't just a technology, it's a consortium. It's a group of companies that license and control the standards. The Bluetooth SIG includes major players like Intel, Microsoft, Qualcomm, and yes, Xiaomi. But here's what's fascinating: Xiaomi's influence within this consortium has been growing exponentially. They're not just a member, they're becoming a major decision maker, and their recent moves suggest they have something very different in mind. Let's look at the timeline. In 2023, Xiaomi quietly began integrating proprietary wireless protocols into their ecosystem. At first, it seemed like just another manufacturer trying to optimize their user experience. But then, something unusual happened. Other manufacturers started taking notice. Not just Chinese companies, but global players began watching Xiaomi's approach with intense interest. Some started developing their own alternatives. Others began questioning whether the Bluetooth standard was still serving their needs. The tech industry is notorious for its standards wars. Remember when VHS beat Betamax? When Blu-ray triumphed over HD DVD? These battles shape entire industries and determine which companies rise and fall. What we might be witnessing is the beginning of another one of these epic battles. But this time, it's not about physical media or display formats. This is about the fundamental way our devices talk to each other. Let's talk about the technical challenges Bluetooth has been facing. As our devices become more sophisticated, the limitations of Bluetooth have become increasingly apparent. Latency issues with gaming headsets, connection drops with smart home devices, battery drain problems with wearables. These aren't just user complaints. They're symptoms of a technology struggling to keep up with modern demands. Security has become another major concern. Bluetooth has faced numerous vulnerabilities over the years, from Blueborn to Bluefrag. Each patch fixes one problem but often creates new ones. The complexity of the Bluetooth stack has made it a target-rich environment for hackers. But here's where it gets really interesting. What if the solution isn't to keep patching Bluetooth? What if the solution is to replace it entirely? Let me show you something that most tech journalists have completely missed. If you look at Xiaomi's recent patent filings, you'll find dozens of applications related to a technology they call NEARLINK. Now, NEARLINK isn't just a marketing term. It's a completely new approach to short-range wireless communication. And what's remarkable is how systematically Xiaomi has been building this technology stack. But here's the kicker. NEARLINK doesn't just replace Bluetooth, it potentially makes it obsolete. The performance improvements we're seeing aren't incremental, they're revolutionary. Let's break down what we know about NEARLINK so far. First, the speed. Early tests suggest data transfer rates that are orders of magnitude faster than Bluetooth 5.0. We're talking about speeds that could rival Wi-Fi for certain applications. Second, the latency. Gaming applications that have struggled with Bluetooth's inherent delays are reportedly showing near zero latency with NEARLINK. This could be a game changer for the growing market of wireless gaming peripherals. Third, and perhaps most importantly, the power efficiency. Users are reporting that devices using NEARLINK technology are lasting significantly longer on a single charge. In some cases, the difference is dramatic. We're talking about extending battery life by 30–40% for constantly connected devices. But here's where the story gets really intriguing. Xiaomi isn't just developing NEARLINK for their own devices. They're positioning it as an open standard. They've been quietly reaching out to other manufacturers, offering them access to NEARLINK technology. This raises fascinating questions about Xiaomi's strategy. Why would a company develop a proprietary technology only to give it away? What's their endgame here? The answer might lie in what's happening in China's tech ecosystem. The Chinese government has been pushing for domestic technology standards to reduce dependence on foreign-controlled protocols. Could NEARLINK be part of a larger national strategy? Let's look at some real-world evidence. In China, Xiaomi's ecosystem devices have been seamlessly integrating with each other in ways that seem almost magical to users. Smart home setups that would typically require complex configuration are working out of the box. Devices from different manufacturers that normally struggle to communicate are pairing effortlessly, but it's not just happening in China. Early adopters in other markets are reporting similar experiences. The technology seems to be spreading organically, almost like a virus, but a beneficial one that improves user experience. What's particularly interesting is how this is affecting the competitive landscape. Other major players are clearly taking notice. Apple's recent updates to their wireless protocols seem to be responding to something. Google's approach to device connectivity in Android 14 shows clear signs of adaptation, but here's the part that's been keeping industry analysts up at night. What happens when NEARLINK becomes the de facto standard? Who controls the patents? Who sets the specifications? And most importantly, what happens to the companies that have built their businesses around Bluetooth? Let's talk about the Bluetooth SIG, the organization that controls the Bluetooth standard. This isn't just a technical body, it's a powerful consortium with billions of dollars in licensing revenue. Companies pay significant fees to use Bluetooth technology in their products. If NEARLINK gains widespread adoption, what happens to this revenue stream? What happens to the companies that have invested heavily in Bluetooth infrastructure and development? The implications extend far beyond just connectivity. Think about the entire ecosystem of third-party accessory manufacturers. Companies that make Bluetooth headphones, speakers, fitness trackers, smart home devices. Their entire business model could be disrupted. But here's where it gets even more interesting. NEARLINK isn't just about replacing Bluetooth. It's about creating an entirely new ecosystem. And Xiaomi is positioning themselves at the center of that ecosystem. Let me show you something that's been largely overlooked. Xiaomi's recent partnerships and investments tell a fascinating story. They've been quietly acquiring companies that specialize in wireless communication technologies. They've been hiring top talent from major tech companies. And they've been building what could become the most comprehensive wireless ecosystem in the world. But there's another player in this story that you might not expect: Huawei. Despite their challenges with international markets, Huawei has been developing their own wireless protocols. And interestingly, their approach shares some similarities with what Xiaomi is doing with NEARLINK. Could we be seeing the emergence of a new standard war between Chinese and Western tech ecosystems? Is this about more than just better wireless technology? The geopolitical implications are staggering. If NEARLINK becomes the dominant short-range wireless standard, it would represent a significant shift in global tech power dynamics. For decades, Western companies have controlled the fundamental protocols that connect our devices. What happens when that changes? Let's look at some technical details that have been emerging from recent developer conferences. NEARLINK appears to use a fundamentally different approach to wireless communication. Instead of the traditional frequency-hopping spread spectrum used by Bluetooth, it employs a more sophisticated modulation scheme that adapts dynamically to environmental conditions. This means better performance in crowded wireless environments, reduced interference with other devices, and more efficient use of the radio spectrum. But it also means that existing Bluetooth hardware might not be able to communicate with NEARLINK devices at all. The compatibility implications are enormous. Imagine a world where your new smartphone only speaks NEARLINK, but your favorite wireless headphones only understand Bluetooth. The transition period could be chaotic. But here's what's really fascinating about Xiaomi's approach. They're not forcing this transition. They're making NEARLINK so compelling that users and manufacturers naturally migrate toward it. It's a masterclass in technological evolution. Let's examine the user experience side of this story. Early adopters of NEARLINK-enabled devices are reporting experiences that seem almost too good to be true. Pairing that happens instantly, connections that never drop, battery life that exceeds expectations by huge margins. But here's where it gets really interesting. The technology seems to learn and adapt. Users report that their devices get faster and more efficient over time, as if the system is optimizing itself based on usage patterns. This adaptive intelligence is built into the core of NEARLINK. It's not just a better wireless protocol, it's a learning system that gets smarter with use. This could represent the first truly intelligent wireless standard. Now, let's talk about the ecosystem effect. As more devices adopt NEARLINK, the network effect kicks in. Each new device makes the entire ecosystem more valuable and capable. This is exactly how successful platform companies create moats around their businesses. But there's a dark side to this story that we need to acknowledge. What happens to the billions of existing Bluetooth devices? What happens to the accessory market that's built up around Bluetooth standards? The transition could leave a lot of users with obsolete hardware. The environmental implications are also significant. If NEARLINK adoption leads to a massive wave of device replacements, it could create electronic waste on a scale we haven't seen before. This is a concern that regulators are starting to take seriously, but let's not lose sight of the potential benefits. If NEARLINK delivers on its promises, it could enable applications that aren't possible with current Bluetooth technology. Imagine wireless gaming with zero latency. Imagine smart home systems that respond instantly to voice commands. Imagine wearables that last for weeks instead of days. The possibilities are genuinely exciting. But they come with significant risks and challenges. Now, here's the moment you've been waiting for, the big reveal that explains everything we've been discussing. NEARLINK isn't just Xiaomi's technology. It's not even primarily Xiaomi's technology. The shocking truth is that NEARLINK is actually Huawei's Harmony OS-based wireless protocol, and Xiaomi has been secretly partnering with Huawei to bring it to market under the NEARLINK brand name. Yes, you heard that right. The two companies that have been portrayed as fierce competitors are actually working together on what could be the most significant wireless technology development in decades. This partnership represents a strategic alliance between China's two largest consumer electronics companies to challenge Western dominance of wireless communication standards. They've been developing this technology in secret for years, using Xiaomi's global distribution network and Huawei's technical expertise. The NEARLINK branding was chosen specifically to avoid the political baggage that comes with Huawei's name in international markets. Xiaomi serves as the public face of the technology, while Huawei provides the underlying innovation. This explains why the technology has been appearing in Xiaomi products, why it's so advanced, and why other Chinese manufacturers have been quick to adopt it. It also explains why Western companies have been so quiet about responding. They're dealing with technology that's far more sophisticated than they expected. But here's the final twist. This partnership goes even deeper than just technology sharing. It represents a coordinated effort by Chinese tech companies to establish their own standards ecosystem, reducing dependence on Western-controlled protocols and creating new revenue streams that flow back to Chinese companies. The implications for the global tech industry are enormous. This isn't just about better wireless technology, it's about reshaping the fundamental architecture of how our devices communicate with each other. What do you think about this revelation? How do you think this will impact the wireless technology landscape? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you want to stay ahead of these major tech developments that could impact every device in your life, make sure to subscribe to Revo now. Got ideas for future videos? Drop them in the comments. We read every single one. The future of wireless technology just got a lot more interesting. And we're just getting started. This is Revo Now, decoding tomorrow's hidden tech landscape today.
Subscribe to Revo now and join our vibrant community of forward thinkers, change makers, and revolutionaries.